Hi, I'm Judy Gregerson. I'm a Mace Energy Method practitioner. I practice in the Pacific Northwest, and I want to talk to you a little bit about emotional triggers. So we all know the feeling of being triggered. It's a word or a look, a tone of voice, something as small as a smell or sound, and suddenly it sparks a big, intense emotional reaction. You could feel anger, maybe shame will flood your body, anxiety might take over before you even understand what happens. And these moments feel automatic, they're overwhelming, and they're really beyond our control. So, what if those triggers could actually be dismantled completely? And that's where the Mace Energy Method comes in. So, emotional triggers are leftover imprints from past experience, especially painful or overwhelming ones. When something in the present resembles that old situation, even unconsciously, the nervous system reacts as if the past is happening all over again. For example, a harsh tone might instantly bring up the humiliation of being scolded as a child, or rejection at work might feel like the sting of being left out on the playground, or a partner's silence could even awaken old wounds of neglect. So these reactions are not conscious choices. They're stored emotional charges, bundles of energy, and they're locked in our subconscious. They keep firing when something touches them. Many approaches to dealing with triggers focus on managing reactions. They may have you do breathing exercises, reframing thoughts, or practicing mindfulness. While valuable, these strategies don't really erase the root cause. It's like learning to calm down when a fire alarm goes off instead of removing the faulty wiring that keeps setting it off in the first place. So the Mace Energy Method takes a little different approach. Rather than coping with emotional triggers, Mace dismantles them at their origin, and here's how. First, we locate the trigger root. In a guided session, the practitioner helps you find the specific moment or cluster of experiences where the emotional charge first got locked in, okay? And then you access without relieving. So you're not doing traditional talk therapy. You don't have to rehash your painful stories. We just use simple awareness techniques to access the stored energy directly. And then once we find the emotional imprint, we guide the client through a structured process to discharge the stuck energy. The trigger is neutralized, and it's neutralized permanently. So every trigger is tied to a hidden negative identity. That's what we call it MACE. The MACE clears these identifications, allowing the person to reconnect with their true self, what we call the real you. And the real you isn't defined by past pain. So after a successful session, the same external situation no longer sparks the old reaction. The memory may remain, but it doesn't have the sting. Clients report feeling a sense of peace, clarity, freedom, kind of like a light has been lifted. So many of them say they feel lighter. So instead of tiptoeing around triggers, or bracing for them, you can move through life without being hijacked by past experiences. So eliminating emotional triggers doesn't just make life more comfortable, it actually changes the way you relate to others. No more snapping, withdrawing, or shutting down in old patterns. It changes the way you see yourself, freeing your identity from false beliefs tied to trauma. It changes the way you handle stress. You'll respond from the present moment, not out of old wounds. And it changes the way you grow spiritually and emotionally. With the past cleared, you're open to deeper growth. So it's not about coping, it's not about suppressing, and it's not about endlessly processing emotions. It's about eliminating the triggers at their source so they no longer control you. If you've ever wished you could be free from those automatic reactions that derail your peace relationship, MIM offers a direct path. It restores the real you, whole, unshaken, and able to meet life on your own terms.